When I got fired, my parents laughed and said I'd always been all talk, no results. They threw a party for my sister's unpaid internship while I ate ramen in my room. Dad said I wasn't invited because failure isn't contagious, but embarrassment is. Mom chimed in. June earned this celebration. You've earned nothing but our disappointment. I just nodded and said, we'll see about that. That night I signed up for DoorDash. Figured I'd prove them wrong the hard way. One delivery at a time. The first week was brutal. Gas money barely covered what I made. My parents would smirk when I came home smelling like fast food, whispering about how I'd fallen so far. June tried to defend me once. Dad shut her down immediately. Don't enable his victim mentality. Third week in, I get this order for $850. Decent tip. Address leads me to this massive house in the hills, the kind with a circular driveway and those fancy stone pillars. Orders for Anthony Jang. Leave at door, don't ring bell, thanks. I pull up and see this guy through the front window. He's in a wheelchair, reaching for something on a high shelf, clearly struggling. Keeps trying, can't quite make it. The food says don't ring, but I ring anyway. He wheels over, opens the door, looking annoyed. I specifically said don't ring the bell. I hand him the bag. Sorry, but you looked like you needed help with that shelf. He pauses, studies my face. You're not wrong. Been trying to reach that binder for 20 minutes. I ask if he wants me to grab it. He hesitates, then nods. Inside, his house is incredible, but clearly set up for someone who can't walk. Everything's lower, modified. The binder I grab is full of code printouts. Software engineer, he explains. Broke my back in a climbing accident 6 months ago. Still adjusting. We start talking. Turns out Anthony runs a small consulting firm, mostly works with startups. Since the accident, he's been struggling with basic stuff. Grocery runs, organizing files, even simple coding tasks that require quick mobility. I've been thinking about hiring someone part-time, he says. Just need someone reliable who can handle random tasks. Nothing fancy. Maybe 25 an hour? I almost choke. 25 an hour for what exactly? Grocery shopping, filing, basic computer work, maybe some simple Python if you know any coding. I just need someone who shows up and actually cares. I tell him I taught myself some programming in college, nothing professional. He asks if I want to try a trial week. Best decision I ever made. Anthony's not just smart, he's patient. When I mess up his filing system, he shows me the right way. When I struggle with his code, he explains it step by step. Most people your age want everything handed to them, he says one day. You actually listen and learn. That's rare. Within a month, I'm working 30 hours a week. Anthony starts teaching me advanced programming, introduces me to his clients. I'm learning more in weeks than I did in years of college. At home, things get worse. Dad loses his sales job, budget cuts. Mom's part-time gig at the dentist office isn't enough. They're behind on the mortgage, but they're still cold to me. When I mention my new job, Dad laughs. Personal assistant isn't a real career. I don't bother explaining what I actually do. 3 months in, Anthony offers me something incredible. One of his startup clients needs a junior developer. Remote work, full benefits, $60,000 a year starting salary. I recommended you, he says. Interviews next week. You've earned this. I nail the interview. They hire me on the spot. 6 months after getting fired, I'm making more than my dad ever did. I move into a decent apartment, start saving real money. Anthony and I stay close. He's become like a mentor, maybe the father figure I never really had. Then last week, everything changed. Dad calls me, voice shaking. We need to talk. It's about the house. They're 3 months behind on mortgage payments. Banks threatening foreclosure. June's internship led nowhere. She's working retail now. We were wrong about you, Mom says when I visit. She's been crying. We need help. We need you. For the first time in my life, they're asking me for something. I tell them I'll think about it and leave. That night, I call Anthony. Remember how you said real estate was a good investment? He laughs. What did you find? My childhood home's going into foreclosure. Asking price is $320. We could probably get it for $250 cash offer. Anthony's quiet for a moment. You want to buy your parents' house? I want to buy it, then rent it back to them. Fair market rate, of course. They need somewhere to live, and we need good tenants. That's either brilliant or cruel. Maybe both. We close on the house next Friday. My parents will sign a lease agreement the same day. Dad, who called me a failure, will now write me rent checks every month. The best part? June's finally seeing who actually earned their success. Sometimes the best revenge is just being undeniably successful.